Okay, girls, I have a somewhat deep question for you.
Ready.
Sure.
I'm ready.
What compromises are you willing to do to make a relationship work?
Should we have warnings first before we delve into relationship level?
You have to think about it first.
You know, like some women, they change
Yes.
to be with their man.
Well, this is before I was married. I think like a huge compromise for me was that learning to accept that I'm not always right. Most of the time right, but not always right. You know, sometimes in an argument, especially when you're dating, when you're younger,
Yes.
right? You always want, no, it's me, I'm right, or you want the last say, right?
Yeah.
But I guess it comes to a point when you're in a relationship and you're heavily invested also, you know, you're gonna butt heads, and you also have to realize where you have to meet midway, you know, and you have to realize when you should let go and accept also that sometimes you're wrong, sometimes.
Sometimes.
That's
But
true
always
though.
right.
I can also relate to that because back then, when you're single, you think talaga you're all in your
Center,
head.
you're the center.
Yeah, you're the center.
Yes.
You're always
It's your
correct.
way.
And if there's a different, like an opposing opinion, that's wrong.
Yeah.
It can't be right. But then you have to take it into consideration.
Yeah,
So-
you have to compromise because you know you realize that when you're in a relationship, it's two people. It's not just yourself.
Yeah, usually I'm the one to step back. Like
Yeah.
I would take a minute, especially when my husband and we're both like so angry.
Yes. And it's natural
I
as
would
a
really like
couple.
take myself out of the situation. But then it's weird because my husband is the type to like take it on. He wants it done right away, talk about it right
Yes.
away, argue, and
So that you could resolve
yeah,
it.
so we can
Yes.
resolve it. But yeah, we're still working on that
Yes.
because it's hard. Like I'm the type who would want to have a level head
Yes.
when we're discussing
Yeah.
something like that. And siya naman, he wants
Yeah.
it's too good.
It's like both of you are right
Yeah.
in a sense
Yeah.
because like for you need more time. For
Yeah.
him it's like no, I don't want us fighting anymore. Let's
Yeah,
just
but
solve
one
this
is
now.
always a little bit more right.
And in your situation, it's
That's
you.
probably me.
No, but it's true. I guess it could be big issues, small issues, but I think especially for singles who are, you know, in that moment wherein they're trying to find that guy who they're going to spend the rest of their life with, you don't want to change so much that you forget yourself.
Exactly.
That's true.
And that you don't want to wake up at 40 or 45 and say like, I don't recognize myself
Yeah.
anymore.
You
And
don't know who you are.
harbor some resentment. So I think the change should come so naturally that you don't feel like
You've
you're
given up so
giving
much of
up.
yourself
Exactly.
for another
Yes.
person.
I think because if you love each other so much and you see the good in your spouse or in your partner, you'll see the wisdom. Let's say, sometimes I see in my husband, okay, yes, in this aspect, he's more wise. He's wiser than me. So I'll adapt to that. And hopefully, always, with me, there are things that are my strengths that he would also adapt to. So it's not really like, no, you have to be like this.
Yeah.
Like, we won't work if you don't change like this.
I think a good measure though is how your family and friends respond to how you
That's
are
a
at
good
that
thing.
moment. Because of course the change isn't abrupt. You won't notice it. It would be like years and years na slowly changing into
Yes.
someone that might be an improvement of yourself and
Yes.
might not be. But your friends and your family will tell it to you straight. So I think it's also good not to like
Yes,
you
because
keep
I don't
them-
want to be like one day they'll be like, Patty, you used to be so funny.
Yeah.
Now you're not funny.
You're still funny. You're still funny.
You're always funny. No, but it's true. Like,
Yeah.
if you're with someone who doesn't bring that out in you and you end up like locking yourself, even your humor, even your quirks, because you're ashamed or because you're trying to be
Or he
someone
puts
else,
you down.
or he puts you down, then that's also bad. So compromise in a sense is healthy
Yeah.
as long as the core is not really changed.